Hello, Ramley and other family. I'm Payo time, and I posted my short little reaction video, but I'm just hanging out on a Saturday afternoon, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just go live. If anyone else is feeling, like I do right now, I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Um, this sucks. This sucks for Robert Woods. First and foremost, before we talk anything football, and we will talk football, we need to acknowledge that Robert Woods is a phenomenal wide receiver, um, and his the loss of Robert Woods for the season is a huge blow. It's a huge blow. We could talk about signing Odell. It's a good thing we did that, and it is. But the reality is, we lost Tutu Atwell for the season. Deshaun Jackson, decides to leave. We lost Jacob Harris for the season, and that's a big blow. It's a big blow for there, and then to lose Robert Woods though, this is a whole nother level. This is a whole nother level. It really is. He is so good. He does so much, not just when he's catching the ball, but when he's not catching the ball. But anyway, guys, I'm just chilling this afternoon. We'll look at a few things, but I want to see what you guys are feeling here. Nady boy, this sucks so much. Yeah, Jarrett, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I'm angry, sad, all the emotions. Absolutely. Yato, yeah, this sucks. I hear you. This stream might be me saying it sucks a lot. um, yeah, it's very sad, Andre. It is. Yeah. Please, guys, let it all out in the chat. What you guys are thinking. Yeah, it's not it's not something that we are happy about. And yeah, Native Voice, it's a good thing we signed Odell. Because if we wouldn't have gotten Odell, and the same day we signed Odell is the same day Robert Wood tears his ACL. I just, we wouldn't have had many options. Van Jefferson, I guess a bigger role would have been for him in play. And I still think Van Jefferson gets a bigger role because of this. But yeah, it sucks. It sucks. Yeah, no, PVT Bambi. Yep. Yeah, others need to step up. Yep, agreed. Yep. If we didn't have OBJ, we would be in serious trouble. Yeah, and Native Boy, I'm not convinced that we're not still in serious trouble. Because OBJ coming in, don't get me wrong, he's good, but just Robert Wood knows the scheme. He has the chemistry with the rest of the offense. He knows the playbook. So I'm not convinced we're not in serious trouble, even with OBJ. But I am glad that we got the depth for sure. Jay, thanks for stopping in. 49ers fan in the house, and yeah, Ramley's hurting right now. I am more sad about this than I was excited about signing Odell. I'll be totally honest and transparent about that. Yeah. No, I hear you, William. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, no, it sucks. Yeah. Oh, I feel you guys. Yeah, Jason, Robert Woods is a solid player. Ram Showcase, thanks for tuning in. He's saying very bummed. Trees is awesome, great blocker, great leader. The OBJ signing just became a larger impact. Yeah, well said, Ram Showcase, Sheriff Joe. Yep. Yeah, it's we are. I do have a couple things here we're gonna look at. I just want to make sure. Yeah, this. Yeah, Mike McKinney up there too. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. We have some injury concerns at the tight end position, William. So every team deals with injuries, and it'll be interesting to see how the Rams respond from this. This sucks more than anything that has ever sucked before. Butthead. Yeah. Yeah, well said, Butthead. Thanks, Sheriff Joe. Silent Souls. I think the injury has more of an impact on Van Jefferson stepping up than signing. Yeah, you know what? Silent Soul. That's yeah. I'd agree with that. You know, I'm still processing emotions and stuff, but yeah, you know, Van Jefferson definitely he's looked good this offseason, and we'll need him to step up regardless of if we had OBJ or not. We need Van to step up. Yeah, yeah. Well, we're glad it's not Cooper Cup. Yeah. Oh man, it's you know, and we were all looking forward to having Woods and Cup, and Odell and Van, and just this, you know, having Hendo in the backfield, and yeah, it's tough. So I'll share this here. Let me bring it up here. All right, we're gonna share. This is the original Adam Schefter tweet that I saw on the same day that the team signed Odell Beckham Jr. Robert Woods tore his ACL practice Friday, sources tell. And I'm always cautious because there's like so many fake Adam Schefter accounts out there. But then when you see that little stinking blue check mark, you know it's real and you know it's legit, and it's frustrating. But yeah. The Niners are injured, Jay. Yep. No, it's and it's about how you respond. It is about how you respond. Yeah, I'm just going through a couple of things here. Monday Night Football. Oh, I don't want to hear Florio. No, I don't want that. I was just going to this NBC article. Woods apparently hurt his knee during the session on Friday, but was able to finish practice. It wasn't until after practice that the tests were run and the full extent of the injury was discovered. That's likely why Woods did not appear on the team's Friday injury report. Already with a thin receiving group, Los Angeles Rams had signed Odell Beckham Jr. Now the club will likely have to accelerate the process of getting Beckham involved. That's an understatement. Aside from Beckham and star wide receiver Cooper Kupp, the Rams currently have Van Jefferson and Ben Skowronek. Yeah, we'll have to talk about him, and JJ Kusi on the roster. Woods has been with the Rams since signing as a free agent in 2017. This season, he recorded 45 receptions for 556 yards, so he was doing well, 4 touchdowns. He took 8 carries for 46 yards on the jet sweep. Yep, we'll miss that. Originally a Bills second round in 2013. Yeah, so again, we know Woods is a great wide receiver. And yeah, this is sad. This is very sad. John, make do with what's got. Yeah. No, we have to. We have to do that. And again, Ben Skowronek is key. Skowronek, and but Van Jefferson, he's probably the one we're looking to. I'm probably have, just at this point more trust in Van than Odell, just because Odell literally just got there, and he's got to learn the playbook and all that. We're definitely not forgetting about Ben Skowronek. Yeah. We got to keep Kupp's legs right. Yeah. Kupp's been a smart player. Yep. The truth, haven't received a ton of information about this, but ACL means the rest of the season. However, like that, will he be ready for the season next, like starting year? That's in question. And so yeah, it'll be depending on how his recovery goes. This is going to hurt us way more in the playoffs. I think it's more on Stafford to build some chem with our wide receivers and Ben as our backup. Yeah. Like we're not a better team with Robert Woods going out rest of the season here. Yeah. We, and so now with OBJ, he's got to step up. Like it goes from being a luxury signing, which if you if you tuned into my video I made this morning, about the pros and cons of Odell Beckham. This now turns into I said it was a luxury signing, but now I very much believe that Odell it's turned into a need signing. Yeah, it's GP's Shadow. Thanks for tuning in. He's saying, yeah, I don't know, man. It's messed up. It looks like, so again, it looks like he tweaked it at practice and he didn't know, and they didn't discover it till after tests were done after practice. So yeah, it's 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 tough. And again, I want to always remember that Robert Woods is a fantastic human being. He's someone that you cheer for. He's humble, he's confident. He's never gotten into trouble off the field or anything like that. Like he's just really just quality player that to have on your team for sure. Yeah. Is less a profit predict? I don't think so. I really think Les Snead just wanted to add a good player, and because we had tried to get Josh Reynolds off of waivers, but the Lions had a higher waiver priority, so they were able to get him first. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough. McVay better not trot out Cup anymore on punt returns. Yeah. Oh, that's a great point. Yeah, I would love if we could figure out someone other than Cooper Kupp to be on punt return. I know he really only goes out there to give a fair catch, but yeah, that's been a concern. Well said, Silent Souls. Yep. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, come together as a Ramley, as a fan base. Yep. No, want to support each other. And again, remember that like the person who is most affected by this is Robert Woods, and the human aspect of it. But yeah. Oh, hey J8 Sports, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, I see what you're saying there. Yeah. And yeah, William, I remember seeing that trade Wood and so yeah, no, at no point did I ever want Robert Woods traded. Never. And I remember the offseason people saying trade Robert Woods for OBJ. And no, I don't want that. Anyway, this sucks. It sucks. And I'll say this sucks a lot on this stream. Put Robert Rochelle on punt or even backup DB. Yeah, someone. Yeah. Mr. Van Jefferson should be moved to that again. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I still think they keep Van in the similar role, but maybe he just gets some more targets, gets some more looks his way. I'm curious because Robert Woods, he mainly ran that jet sweep that the Rams like to run, and like I'm sure I can see Van and Cup running because Cup does run it too sometimes. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. Surgery and recovery, 100% healthy next year. Okay, all right, John. I'm not a medical professional, but I know that ACL tears can take a long time to recover from, but normally a timeline is a year. Like even Cooper Kupp, he tore his ACL, and now he's a year removed from it, and he's looked so dominant, right? Here's my question: can Odell come in and do enough to replace a decent amount of Robert's production? Joshua, that's a great question. And Monday night, okay, I'm going to be honest. I don't think it can happen Monday night. Just like he just got there, right? Like he's probably learning the playbook, and I'm sure with this injury news, he's reading a little bit faster. And I hope. I hope he's learning the playbook, the terminology, everything like that, and we'll continue to see. Hey Hilltop, good to see you in here. Yeah, Jarrett, also you have a nice day. Thanks for stopping by, man. It's tough. I am gonna do I'm going over on 49ers Ultimate Reports channel later today, in a couple of hours to talk about the Rams-Niners game. But I don't know. I was just hanging out alone this afternoon, and after I made my video, I felt terrible, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to stream and see if anyone else wants to chat through this with me. And yeah, it sucks. It sucks. Yeah, JJ on punt return, that'd be cool. Yeah, like again, I don't know that much about JJ. We haven't seen that much from him. But if he can, secure a catch and run it, I'm cool with that. Maybe give us a chance at a run back. Well, the trade deadline has passed, JH. So yeah, there's no more trading, there. Hello. Odell is officially starting. Well, I think he's gonna have to. Yeah. Maybe some people think Odell's washed up, and I'm hoping Odell proves that wrong. But I hear people say that. Yep. I said to trade Woody and Floyd not because I don't like them, but because we can get a lot for their value in there. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Well, and that's the thing. Robert Woods, in terms of contract finesse for him, he's been really I think he's restructured his contract twice or three times. Like he's been, very much a team guy, and so that's definitely been one of the many things he's brought in terms of leadership to the Rams. Just need to be a decoy for now. Maybe I don't know. Hey, Sports Star, thanks for coming in. But yeah, it's not something that we want to be reporting on yet. OBJ is far from washed up. Baker was, yeah. Hey, you hear that too, and I'm hoping that's true. People started faulting Bobby because he was getting less target. Yeah, you know what? That's William. That's a good point. With people were like, "Oh, Cooper Kupp is doing so good," and, Woods is having less target. Well, no, Robert Woods was still getting targets, and he was still having a pretty good season, right? He had 4 touchdowns, 556 yards on 45 receptions this year. That's, for a 10-game season, like that's a lot better than many receivers in the NFL. You're thinking OBJ will get 10 snaps. That's it. Well, I'm really curious to see how this goes. Yeah. Rams house. I saw your video just before I went live, man. Yeah. And I know Robert Woods, Bobby Trees is your favorite player. And I think there's not a Rams fan out there that doesn't love Robert Woods. He's someone you want to cheer for. And yeah, this sucks. It sucks. Yeah, it's I'm getting a message here, guys, from a lot of people, and I'm just gonna mess back. Yeah, thank you for that. It's a good friend of mine. You've always been an Odell fan, but Bobby Woods fan since Buffalo. Yeah. Odell has never had a QB good as Stafford. Mayfield is arguably worse than Goff. Okay, yeah, no, I think it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, and I'm hoping that Stafford is able to maximize Odell's skill set. And to be honest, the biggest thing I want to see out of Odell, at least early on with his time at the Rams, is his hands. He was always known for having these great hands that caught everything. And with his production kind of slipping the past couple of years, even if he doesn't have the playbook memorized or something like that, I'm hoping that there's a couple of packages in there that can really just showcase Odell's catch radius and his ability to just catch everything that comes his way. Hoping he gets back to that. Change and go to 2 backs, 2 tight ends, run the ball. Yeah, again, with losing Jacob Harris and Johnny Mundt, it'll be interesting to see, can Kendall Blankton come in and get in on those 2 tight end sets with Higbee. Yeah. Joshua, there were so many plays where Odell was open and Baker didn't deliver. So that's what we hear. Yeah, we've definitely had some some big injuries, like Cam Akers going down in the offseason was brutal. And we've had many other just sad injuries that just are so frustrating. So frustrating, no doubt. Just taking a look here. Sorry, guys, I'm getting some messages here from people. I'm seeing if there's more information. We're looking at here. Yeah, we just seen. Okay, nothing new from the Rams. Yeah, nothing new from the Rams. I'm just seeing if it's all still Scheffner. I was hoping that someone come out. Yeah. Woods did become the go-to guy, no doubt. Someone said, yeah. Rams house. Yeah. Woods is your guy. Yeah. No, I hear you. This is it's not fun. It's not fun. This is not fun. I love I love every last guy who puts that uniform on with them horns on. I love them to death. Yeah. No, we're gonna cheer on our Rams. No, absolutely. We're gonna cheer on our team. Yep, absolutely. Yeah. He'll talk Woods, Akers, Jones, Funk, Harris, Sebastian Joseph Day, Atwell, Monday, all season-ending injuries. Name a team who lost so many players and still sue. Hilltop, that's a great comment. Thanks for saying that. We're still Super Bowl contenders, absolutely, but every team deals with injuries every year. They're unfortunately part of the game, but it's gonna be interesting to see how it all plays out. Just give me a sec here to take a look. All right, folks. And yeah, guys, let me know what I'm keeping a close eye to see if any more news comes out about scheme or from the Rams or Sean McVay. We'll continue to see here. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see, nothing yet. Yeah. Okay, Joshua, do you expect Cup to struggle now? No, I don't. I still think Cooper Cup's been playing at an elite level, and he's going to continue to do that. And yeah, I'll continue to see, if Cooper Cup, maybe he gets more targets, even though he's already getting targeted a lot. I don't know how to get more than he already is getting. But yeah, I don't think Cooper Cup will struggle. I'm again the receivers, Van Jefferson, OBJ, Ben Saronic, they're the ones that are coming. I see a lot of you guys are saying Odell. I'm definitely gonna take a look over at Adam Scheffner's. Where are you on Twitter here, Adam? All right, coming over here. I don't want to read your book. More on Robert Wood stuff. Okay, yeah. So here's an ESPN article, guys. I'll take a read here. Let's share the screen because sharing is caring. So Los Angeles receiver suffered. Yeah, we know. Is out for the remainder of this. Robert Woods out for the remainder of the season after suffering a torn ACL in practice Friday. Woods went down, knee injury. Okay, we know that. He underwent tests after practice, confirmed the injury. The Rams, in search of depth at the position after releasing Deshaun Jackson, signed free agent Odell Beckham on Thursday. Beckham will make his Rams debut against. So, okay, this is confirmed. Beckham is. You guys are right. Thank you for saying that. It will make his debut against the San Francisco 49ers on Monday Night Football. As a receiver, a blocker, and occasional jet sweep runner, Woods is a vital component of the Rams offense alongside NFL receiving leader Cooper Kupp and fellow starter Van Jefferson. Woods is second on the roster, 45 catches, 556 yards, and 4 touchdowns, while also rushing 8 times for 46 yards and another TD. Woods' 70 targets in the season were tied for 15th in entering NFL Week 10. Yeah, so that production's hard to replace on any team. Woods' injury is a big blow to the NFL's top-ranked passing offense led by new quarterback Matt Stafford. It leaves Kupp, Beckham, and Jefferson as the only accomplished healthy wideouts on the roster. It talks about how we lost Atwell Harris earlier this week. Yeah, and we tried to get Reynolds. Didn't happen. Ben Skowronek and JJ Koski are a pair of first-year wideouts who have combined 3 catches for 30 yards. Yeah, so again, I don't know what Ben Skowronek's role looks like, but a team captain, Woods has been a model of durability in his 9-year career, never missing more than 3 games in a season due to injury. Woods began his career in Buffalo. Yeah, okay, so it just talks about that. In 4.5 seasons with the Rams, Woods has 367 catches for 4,626 yards, 23 touchdowns, while also rushing for 485 yards and 5 scores. Thank you for that article. And yeah, it's definitely, yeah. So we're gonna see OBJ in Rams uniform on Monday night. Yeah, I don't care. We will find a way to win the Super Bowl. Hey, adversity. Yeah, they preach it in the NFL. Yep. Wow. Woods and Akers in practice. We're talking about practice. Yeah. Thank you, LC Internet Explorer 10. That's a great name for your YouTube handle. Oh, we got Rams House coming on. I invited him on, so he'll be here shortly to talk this out here. Hey, CG. Thank you for stopping by, and definitely prayers for Robert Woods for a speedy recovery and yeah. Well, the Harris injury is now more of an impact too with that. Yeah, with this jet sweep motions, I see Odell taking that role. Yeah, and you know what? That's something to consider. I think Odell can maybe do that right away. And in terms of learning a jet sweep as opposed to the rest of the route tree. But again, my big concern, Odell, he's a veteran receiver. Like, he'll learn the playbook. My biggest concern is learning terminology right now to play Monday night. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, they haven't really gotten a practice with him in, right? Like, he signed yesterday. He's there today. Like, they're not going to practice on Sunday before the game. So I just don't know how much Odell can be involved just because of the timing. Hello, Eagles Uncensored Podcast. Great content creator. He's saying, hey, Payo, sorry for lost, man. Hope all is well. Respect, brother. God bless. Thank you. God bless you as well. Thanks for stopping by. I saw also a Packers fan. Okay, well, thank you for stopping by. And I've seen the Thanos memes on Twitter today about this. There's a lot out there about a soul for a soul. Ask Dallas about OBJ on reserve. You'll love what they have to say. Oh, well, okay, interesting. I'm not sure what you mean by that, William. Remember going through this with Kupp when Kupp went down with an ACL in 2018. Yeah, that was tough. And you know what? We do have he is here today to talk about his favorite wide receiver. And thanks for coming on. Rams House, welcome to the stream.
What's going on, Payo? How you doing?
Good, good. Thanks for coming by. Short notice,
Yeah,
man. This sucks.
it does. It's
Yeah.
so sad because obviously he's my favorite player, but obviously I think what a lot of people are saying in my comments are they're like, yeah, he's a good player, but he wasn't getting targeted much. And that's not really the way I view it. I think he just did so much, especially he's a good run blocker. He could even just go at running back. He was a good wide receiver. He just did so many things well. But I'm just kind of sad for him as a person as well. It just must be sad, especially if they go and win the Super Bowl and he's not a part of it. I don't know.
Yeah, it, like it's one of those things that I'm not looking forward to seeing Odell doing Robert Woods' role.
Hmm.
Like I think I think like a lot of the hype with the Odell trade was it was going to be Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Van Jefferson, and Odell. Where and again, glad we signed Odell, but
Hmm.
now this definitely puts kind of a somber on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I totally get that, especially they're bringing up all these different packages that they could do with all of them at once, which would have been so cool to see. Um, it does I'm trying to look at it as the fact what if we didn't get Odell? That would have been crazy because then we would have just had Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson, JJ Koski, and Ben Skoranek, and so it would have been it would have been worse. I'm trying to look at it in that view, but it is annoying because I was getting excited for Odell, but now it's just it's good we have him, but it's not the same.
Yeah, I literally I made a video this morning about the pros and cons of the Odell signing. And in that I talked about how the Rams, this was a luxury signing. We didn't really need him, even though we did kind of need a receiver.
Mhm.
But we tried to get Josh Reynolds. So if we wouldn't have had to get Odell, we would be looking at like other teams' practice squads,
Yeah,
because the trade deadline's passed. So like it's great that we got Odell, and it's really great, but it's definitely I don't think it's safe to say Odell was signed to be Robert Woods' replacement. However, that's looking what it's going to need to be.
yeah, and one thing I'm looking at as well is how Robert Woods does those great blocks, and Cooper Kupp
Mm-hmm.
and Robert Woods are great at blocking to set up runs, and even in the passing game, if they need to block, they can. Um, I'm also looking at it in that way because we lost our blocking tight ends, like the best blocking one that we had in that situation, and I was like, well, at least we got Woods and Kupp to help block, but now we lost him, so it's interesting to see how they'll use him and see if Odell can block that way because I do think that the blocking that they bring, the Rams receivers bring, is really important and vital into whatever they're doing. And so it's being that we lost our blocking tight end and Robert Woods, who is a really good blocker as well. It's just I'm just trying to see how that all shakes out.
Yeah, and Rams Insider, he asked a great question here. He said, with Odell now obviously being Rob's replacement, will he be putting up the same production? And then I also see Joshua kind of also following that up with, listen to all the fans, don't hate on Odell, just give him love and show him the fan base we are. He's our number two. I I I'm not convinced he's going to be our number two on Monday, just because of the timing of it. But if so, say Odell does kind of step into that Robert Woods type of role, are you more comfortable with Robert Woods or sorry, with Van Jefferson or Odell kind of taking over like the jet sweeps, taking over down the field blocking?
Yeah, so for down the field blocking, I'd be more comfortable with Van just because he's been with us and he kind of knows the way that we work and he's been in our system. Um, and then jet sweeps, I do think that Odell, that's more specialized towards him. I don't think you really need to be in a system long enough to learn those. I think that those are kind of down for him. So I think for Odell, those I would stick with him. It just really depends. I don't know how much as Odell. I don't know how much you can learn in this scheme. Obviously, you can't learn everything and all the plays in just 4 days or whatever it is. And so I don't know. It just really depends on the situation. I was not expecting Odell to get that many snaps before the injury happened because I just thought they would kind of ease him in,
Mm-hmm.
but it depends. I think if we're doing some sort of gadget plays or jet sweeps, I would see Odell on that, trying to see if he can make an impact. and then specific routes that he's comfortable with, I think we put him in. But I think Van doing more of the stuff that we do is more likely because he's just been with us and he knows the way it works.
Yeah, and I think especially for Monday night, just like I'd be shocked like if Odell comes and gets like more than 5 targets in the game, like I'll be shocked. Just because it's so like he literally signed. Like he's not going to have a practice with the
Exactly.
team, right? Like, and so I really think Van Jefferson is going to be a key player in that game against the 49ers. And especially I someone that we're maybe not talking about enough is Darrell Henderson. That he's great at receiving out of the backfield. Maybe Sony gets a little more involved in the passing game as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be a wide receiver that makes up for Robert Woods' production. But
Yeah,
we want to keep scoring, right?
yeah. It's really unfortunate the way like everything unfolded. I wanted to see at least like one game with Odell and Robert Woods and everything. And I mean that's like us Rams fans, American selves. Like we have tons of weapons everywhere, but like that would have been so cool to see. I don't know if I'll ever see it because I don't really see us re-signing Odell after this season. We could, but I don't really see that. So it's kind of disappointing. But I just hope we beat the 49ers after not winning like 4 straight games.
Yeah, no, that definitely is the key. This like we knew coming into this season that this is kind of the monkey you gotta get off your back of beating the Niners, and I still think we are the better team, even with Robert Woods going down. The Niners are a beat up team, and in general, they haven't played the best most of the season. But again, they've beaten us the past 4 years with Nick Mullins at times at quarterback. So we, who are we to talk until we've beaten them, right?
Yeah, like I have trouble like figuring out how they're gonna have Odell get the chemistry down in that short amount of time with Stafford because he's a completely different quarterback. And like you mentioned, like Odell's not practicing, right? Like yeah, he's not gonna do a practice this week.
I just don't know how that works with the game on Monday night. Like they maybe get a Monday morning walkthrough, but like it's not a practice, right? Like I have no doubt that like Odell right now is in his house in LA, and I hope no one's talking to him, and he is just like maybe he has McVay personally like chatting with him about the playbook.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how this works out. It's just like for any player, it's hard to get all those plays down and get the chemistry down in that amount of time. Like you even look at Stafford with Cooper Cup and Woods and everybody there. It took time to get the chemistry down in training camp. So it's like it'll be interesting to see the way they use it. I'm sure their game plans changed, or it's like they're gonna need to change the game plan a little bit before they go into this game. That's a short amount of time to do that, but I'm sure they can.
Yeah, and I see a couple of people in the comments here talking about Deshaun Jackson, and it's like the Rams wide receiving room has had one of the weirdest seasons ever, right? Where you have the injury to Tutu, but then and you think that Tutu is the replacement for Deshaun Jackson, but Deshaun Jackson isn't happy with the role he's been given, so then he decides to walk away, and then we sign Odell Beckham Jr. And before that, Sean McVay said, "Oh, Jacob Harris can play like a tight end type of role." And then we signed Odell, and we're like, "Oh, sweet, we got a loaded wide receiver group." And then shortly after that, we hear, "Oh, like Robert Woods is done for the year on an ACL tear." Like the roller coaster of emotions for the Ramley, I tell you.
I know there's so many different like. There's been a lot of injuries this season that are season ending that the Rams are having. And like even ones that people don't really look at much, like Jake Funk, I think was one of the big ones. And I think like there's been a lot of those types of ones that a lot of people are like, well, that's not a big name, but like they're doing important things in our offense, defense, or special teams. And I'm just really hoping that we don't have any more injuries like this. Like, especially if you think, like, imagine if we lose Cooper Cup and we're just down to Odell and Van Jefferson, and like, I just hope there's no more injuries like that. And I was worried last week that we lost Stafford when he rolled his ankle, but then luckily he was able to come back and play. It's just weird. I think for us, we aren't used to the Rams having these types of injuries because like their training staff and everything, their conditioning is really, really high tier. I feel like it's the best in the NFL. So I think it's just kind of foreign to us.
Yeah, we're especially these kind of outlier injuries that happen outside of games. Like an injury in practice. Now that's happened to Akers and to Robert Woods as well, right? And so,
Mhm.
yeah, we've definitely been very blessed to not have the injury bug as some other teams have had, and I hope we don't have this again.
I
Like,
know.
I want us to stay healthy, and yeah, you had a comment earlier about Cooper Cup, or I'm not sure if it was you or someone else, but I know you've talked about how you don't like seeing Cooper Cup back there on punts.
Mhm.
I don't like that either. I know if it is just even to secure a fair catch, I get it, because he's pretty sure-handed, but
Mhm.
who do you think on the Rams should be returning punts? Robert
I honestly
Rochelle?
think I know for me at this point, like at first and at the start of the season, I was hoping for explosive punt returns and kick returns and like seeing all that. But now I'm just more worried about securing the ball and making sure we don't lose yards or lose the ball. And I think the best player in this situation is JJ Koski, especially
Yeah.
what he's doing. I know he's not electric, I know he's not fast, and he's not exciting to watch, but I think whoever is the most secure with that and I don't want to say he's not as important, but like he's not really in the offense as much. I think that's the guy I'd go with.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if we do see a couple more roster moves because of this. And maybe and again, like our scouting department, I know they're always watching other teams practice squads.
Yeah,
So maybe there's a receiver or a corner out there that can return kicks and punts, and we can add in a kind of a one of those sneaky signings to it.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh man, this still sucks.
It does.
But thanks for coming on and talking about this with me, Ramsaz.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, what were you doing when you heard the news break about Robert Woods?
I was actually making a thumbnail for a different video, and it was funny because Ryan Showcase just texted. He just texted to me just like I guess like an unhappy face emoji. I was like, "What's happening?" And you were just like, "I don't want to be the one to tell you." So I was just like frantically searching to find it, and I was like, "Oh no!" And so then I just changed gears and switched videos.
That sucks.
What were
Oh.
you doing?
I had just finished my video pros and cons of the OBJ signing, and then I was just hanging out. I'm going to see Marvel's Eternals later tonight, but and then this afternoon or in a couple of hours, I'm going to be on 49ers First Takes channel. And obviously that has changed drastically with this news.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was just sort of editing a couple of graphics, things like that, and getting ready for the watch party on Monday. But the I it's weird. Whenever news like this breaks, I'm so thankful, but at the same time, it's overwhelming at times.
It is.
Uh, you get all the Twitter notifications, the YouTube notifications, the Instagram notifications, and it all just like blows up your phone. And I got that, and I was just at first I was like, no way,
Yeah.
no, 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 and then like I remember reading the Adam Scheffner retreat or tweet, and I'm like, please be fake, please, and I'm like, oh, the stupid blue check marks there.
I know.
Oh.
I yeah. It's really disappointing because whenever there's a big trade or a big signing, I'm like overwhelmed with joy because I'm like, yes, they're like, I don't know, there's so many things that come at you at once with that, and you're like excited and everything. But for something like this, it's just like it's always hard because I want to make a reaction video and like giving my thoughts, but it's really hard to get like clear, concise thoughts because then like you're still just
Yeah,
thinking about everything.
it's yeah, no, and it's not like it's one of those things that you like want to make a video about it, but at the same time, you kind of just want to like go under a blanket and
I
just be
know.
like, this sucks. Oh,
And you
man.
just hide in there for the
Yeah,
rest of the day.
yeah.
It's weird. Like I would have thought that it would have been Cooper Cup who would have been injured because I think in 2018 he tore his ACL. He had an injury that was really bad and he was out for the season.
Hmm.
And so I don't really know who I'd rather have be injured. Like it's a bad decision to make, but I would have thought it would have been Cooper Cup. But do we know if it was like a non-contact injury or like how did it?
Um, in the report, it's let's see if there's any new information. So it just says he went down with a knee injury, and then he got up and finished practice.
Oh wow.
And then there's no. Let me see if there's any new reports here. I'm checking on the Bleacher Report.
Because I
Yeah,
know Akers had with his torn Achilles, it was non-contact, but he was in practice. So I don't know if he got hit or like I don't know what it was.
yeah. Okay. I see here. This one's like the newest article I've found. Um, it just says during practice. It doesn't say took part. Okay, wait. Okay, this is crazy here. Okay. So Scheffner noted that Woods got up, finished practice, and took part immediate interviews after suffering the injury. Yeah, I remember watching it yesterday. And it wasn't known until later that he underwent tests that he had a torn ACL.
That's crazy. I guess he's super tough.
Yeah, like, yeah, like I've never torn my ACL, but like I'd assume it hurts.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. And everyone tuning in, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate all of you. Smash that like button, really helps me out. And I don't have this time because this is so impressive. Normally I have my guest channel in the description below, but if you're not subscribed to Ram Showcase, you need to make sure to get over there and subscribe to his channel. I saw there was a comment here that I wanted to highlight. Let's see, where'd you go here?
So many to sort through.
Yeah, no, thank you everyone. These I am lost in these comments here. This is oh yeah, here we go. Jackson Darkest, I think I pronounced that right. He says practice is important, but experienced players of Odell and Stafford don't need as much as you might think. If Odell is healthy, he could play Monday just fine. Well, he is playing Monday. We need him to now. The question is how involved will he be? And I saw like one comment on like a Rams subreddit earlier this morning because Matt Stafford talks about how he played 1 year with Odell in the Pro Bowl, and he was like, Matt Stafford and Odell already have chemistry. They played together in the, and I'm like, okay, like
it doesn't take one game.
That's just, and that was years ago, right? Like,
Yeah.
like it's the Pro Bowl, right? But okay, I guess Matt Stafford and Odell have technically played together before.
Yeah, I understand with what that guy was saying in the comments, like they're experienced enough so like maybe it's not as important. But to me, it's like at this point when a trade like this happens, it's more about getting your chemistry down. It's not really about like making sure they know how to throw the ball right or how to run the route right. It's just like getting the timing down because there could be if he's out there a lot, there could be a lot of plays where he misses the throw because he just doesn't have the chemistry down. So it's just going to be interesting to see it. Who knows? Maybe Odell gets 100 yards. I don't know.
I think if that happens, it'll be because they like dialed up a deep ball. Like,
Yeah,
I pictured Odell coming in and taking the Deshaun Jackson type of role. That was kind of what I was thinking, right? Where he'll have some games where he gets one or two big plays in, at least early. But with this injury, I think that changes things. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the Rams use him, not just on Monday night. I really don't think he'll get a lot of use Monday night.
yeah. I'm kind of hoping for Van's sake that he has a big game, just because like now he's almost forced to like stay in there and play longer than I think he normally would.
Yeah.
And so I'm happy for him. I hope he has a good game. For some reason, I just have a feeling that like in this game, Stafford's gonna just be I definitely think he'll look towards Van Jefferson's way a good amount, but I feel like with the injury of Robert Woods, he'll just be using Cup as the safety blanket while they're kind of figuring things out. I think that he's an aggressive quarterback, so he'll definitely take his chances with Odell in some situations, but I have a feeling he's going to be wanting to go to Cooper Cup because that's his guy and that's like his safety blanket in some ways.
Yeah, and I'll be interested to see because I have no doubt that Robert Woods, he's heartbroken right now, and rightfully so. But I have no doubt he'll still be a leader, and as he's recovering, I expect him to be in Odell's ear, like, throughout the week. And I think we're going to hear a lot of stories about Robert Woods' leadership throughout this season as we go into the playoffs. He's the big Robert Woods, though he's been one of the biggest players for the Rams past couple of years. He's also been one of the biggest leaders for that, wide receiving room. Cooper Cup was, you could say, mentored largely by him, and they grew into one of the best tandems of wide receivers in the league. And I have no doubt that Robert Woods, if anyone is like, hey, Odell, like, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know.
Yeah, because I'm sure it's hard for him. I don't really remember a time when Woods had an injury this bad. I don't know if he's ever had that in his career even.
He's been pretty solid his whole
Yeah,
career. Yeah.
and so I'm sure it's hard for him just to like for a player like him and a veteran like him and a leader like him. I don't doubt that he's gonna be involved in doing a lot of different things, and I think it could be similar to when Andrew Whitworth went down last season, and it was like it was only for like 9 games, but he was still there and he was still helping the guys, and he's still a good leader and coach, and so I can see that for sure.
Well, and the I guess the one kind of silver lining that is, and maybe silver lining is the wrong word. The one thing that the Rams have kind of going for them with this news is we do have this Monday night game. So Odell at least can learn a bit of the playbook and participate in probably a walkthrough on Monday. But we have the bye week after this. And so, maybe in that bye week, I know players will get some time off, but I have no doubt that Odell will probably in his time off be learning some stuff here.
Yeah,
Because that locker room is locked in. Like they know what the front office has done.
yeah.
They're all well aware, like, Super Bowl or bust, right? Like that is the goal this year. They're all in, all in.
Exactly. And like, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Let's see the way this works out. It is really unfortunate that it happened in the second half of the season, in my opinion, because like the second half of the season is a really like it has a ton of strong opponents. I think we have the Cardinals again, and then we'll have the Packers. We'll have the Ravens, which that'll be a tough one. And there's so many tough games that we have upcoming. Like it's going to be harder to win. But again, it's like I think our wide receiver core with Odell in there and Van and Cooper Cup is still one of the top ones in the NFL. But we were just used to having Woods in there in addition to it.
Yeah, and I just want to say thanks for everyone tuning in again. I know that this news sucks to talk about. It's not fun. It's the part of football that it's devastating, and you appreciate football as an entertaining sport, as a strategic sport, but the injuries that come with it, it this it puts a damper on it when some of your favorite players get injured like that. um I, I'd love to hear your opinions on what you think Sean McVay is feeling right now.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's feeling rushed to change some things up and like adjust with him being gone. And it's funny, he was just talking about Robert Woods and Cooper Cup yesterday in his press conference and like how great leaders they are and what they do on and off the field and everything. So I'm sure he's sad and he's probably shocked too because like it's not really like they're expecting that news. But the type of guy he is, I'm sure he's getting ready to adjust in game plan and change a little bit because I don't think you're gonna have the. I don't think you can just insert Odell into what Robert Woods has been doing, especially with him not knowing the playbook. And I feel like they're kind of two different players, so I think he's just kind of adjusting to that.
Yeah, no, exactly. And even like the fact that Robert Woods wasn't on the injury report Friday just makes that this much more of a shock.
Mm-hmm.
And McVay loves his players so much, right? He's their biggest fan, and it'll be interesting to see his first press conference. I don't know. I don't think he's scheduled to have one today.
No,
So it'll probably be Monday, maybe Monday morning. He'll have
it's hard with
one.
the Monday night game. You can't
Yeah,
know what.
I yeah, I'm sure the Rams will post something on Twitter if they haven't already. I'm just gonna check that out here. No, nothing yet. Okay.
Again, I'm just thankful like that it wasn't Stafford. Like, imagine if Stafford got hit really hard and like broke his leg or did something like that. Because then like I feel like even with having Woods in there, then our season might be over. Because like Wolford's good, but compared to Stafford, like it would have been a big difference.
Yeah, yeah, and like for all the I do see on Twitter there. I'm not gonna share my screen to show this. But I see like all these people trolling the Rams, being like, "This is karma. Rams deserve this," and it's like, okay, this
What did we do to deserve
like
this?
like what are you talking about? Like that makes no sense at all. This is outside of football, like people being like, oh, the Rams were getting too good, so like the football gods took Robert Woods away. No, this is just the way that it happened. It's a very unfortunate accident. um I have no doubt the person who's most frustrated about this is Robert Woods.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking for it. It'll probably be a couple of days before we hear anything from Robert Woods. I have a tab open on his Twitter account to see if he posts anything, but I don't expect anything from him for the next couple of days for sure.
Yeah, I think some of the people like ever since we've become like a really really good team, and like this year it's like we're playing Madden where we're just stacking good players on top of good players. But like I don't know why people, well, like I think that a lot of people don't like us because we're such a good team now. Because before they used to be like they used to know our pains when we were really bad and they felt bad for us. But I think when teams start to become a really good team or they are hard to stop, people just start to not like them for whatever
Mm-hmm.
reason. And I've seen that too with like whenever I'm making like the trade videos, people get mad or they're like, this is unfair. I'm like, I mean, I just like how our front office does things, and like
Mm-hmm.
all the other teams really don't do that. So I think that's it's not it doesn't make it right, but I think that's why they're doing this because they just don't like having good teams. I don't know.
Well, and I think a lot of teams wish that their teams were going for it, right? Like, the Rams, you can critique our future all you want. We're competing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a team that's willing to make these big moves. And I think that that's something that a lot of teams wish they would do, right? We even
Yeah.
see that in the Odell signing, where apparently the Saints and the Packers only offered the veteran minimum, where the Rams offered the minimum plus incentives based on how the team does in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think Odell, saw that and was like, well, both the Packers and the Rams were a good situation, but I'm going to choose LA, right? And the Rams were able, and we've seen that before. The Rams are often able to offer that little bit extra to go the mile to get the deal done, right?
And like yeah, that's the thing too. For Packers fans, they should be, and like the Packers organization, I feel like they should be going all in because of Rodgers and like him maybe leaving this next season, Adams leaving next season, and like they're they're a team like with Aaron Rodgers, he's always wanted them to bring in players to help him out, and if they did that, that would have like showed him that they respected it. But like it's just like they continue to struggle to bring in the pieces like that and go all in, and the Rams are in a situation where they have I feel like a good few years to win the Super Bowl, while the Packers have like a year, and so I was kind of confused why the Packers didn't do more to acquire it, but I think it's just kind of showing again that the Rams organization in the front office is the best in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I so this is a new experience for me. I've never gotten this, but Travis Berg Jr. sends in a super sticker. Thank you.
Whoa, that's cool.
Never gotten one of those before, but thank you. Yeah, I just got monetized this past week, and which sounds
Nice.
really cool. But I don't know. I'm not at a place where I'm comfortable saying everyone, give me super chats and things like
Yeah.
that. But thank you, Travis. It really does mean a lot that you would send in that super sticker.
Yeah. Did it happen pretty quick for you, like the process and going through all that?
Yeah, so I crossed over the 1,000 mark on Sunday during my stream, and then because the Tom Grossi raid, which was really cool. And then I applied for the YouTube partner program that night, and then I woke up Tuesday morning to an email that was sent at like 3 a.m. saying I had been approved. Yeah.
Nice.
So it happened pretty fast. Yeah.
For whatever reason, for me, it took like 6 months. Like they had the system blocked or
Really?
something like that. Yeah, I was eligible for a long time, but they had like the thing where you were able to apply to see. They had that like grayed out, even though I was way past all the requirements, and
Yeah.
it was such a long process. But I'm glad that happened really quick for you, because like that's definitely the dream.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, no, that's right. Now that I'm talking, oh, you guys are so kind. You send in super chats here. So we one is SG Sports Channel said, who would be a good replacement for Rob? Well, as we've been talking about the SG, we expect Van Jefferson to have an expanded role on Monday, and then OBJ is going to get some more involvement now.
I really see I really see Odell being more of the wide receiver 3 this game, with how quick he has to learn everything and do everything. And again, I'm kind of excited to see what Van Jefferson can do, because I don't think he's ever been like the wide receiver 2.
Mm-hmm. And then Travis, thanks for this. He's just saying, live every Sunday, pop in and say hi. Oh, thanks, Travis. Yeah. Ben Sanchez here has a really interesting comment. He says, I don't think it's a complete tear because he got back up, finished practice, did interviews later, and found out the bad news. Wouldn't surprise me if he does come back for the playoffs. Ben, I'm not a medical professional, but I think an ACL tear that requires surgery means you're done, just because the recovery from that surgery takes so long. It's a very long and draining process that we've seen with many NFL players.
Yeah,
So,
I agree with you. Even if he came back in the playoffs, I feel like, or if he had the chance to, I feel like he wouldn't be the same, because he wouldn't be all the way there yet.
Yeah, and like playoffs, like when you're thinking about it, like we're in week 10 in a 17-week season, and then playoffs come, right? So 7 weeks. So he's probably going to get the surgery on Monday, and then you're looking at like a full, like I don't see that his recovery being done in 7 weeks. Especially he is 29. He's 29. Yeah, he's 29, right?
Mm-hmm. I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I don't see him recovering back. I would love it, obviously, but I don't see that timeline working out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully Odell just gets comfortable in our system by the playoffs, or like maybe like 3 weeks from now. Hopefully he's like getting really comfortable in it and he can be used really well.
Mm-hmm. Oh well, I'm going to take a quick gander here to see if there's any more news updates. I do see that lots of people are commenting on Robert Woods. It's very sad. It's very sad. Oh, you know what? This is an interesting comment here by Sosa on Locked On Rams podcast. He said on Twitter, this is why Deshaun Jackson's vision seems so short-sighted now. He would have been the wide receiver 2/3 on a top 2 offense had he not asked to leave. Yeah, do you think that Deshaun Jackson made a mistake by leaving?
I mean, it's really all the way that he wants to do things, I guess. But for me, if you're in a situation with a really top tier offense and you're that like you're up there in the age department and then you've had injury experiences. I feel like for me it's a mistake. It really depends on him. If this is his last year and just wants to play as much as he can before he retires, I mean I guess that's the right decision. But to me, he's going to a team who I don't expect to win a Super Bowl, and he'll probably just have more wear and tear with being played more, and it could result to another injury. So if I were him, I would probably have stayed, but I don't know. It's kind of a tough decision.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think because like that the way that he was being used by the Rams, I thought that was like exactly how he should be used.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he was brought in there, and I still wonder what that miscommunication was between the Rams and Deshaun Jackson. And I think I saw that like in the phone conversation that Peter Schrager talked about on Good Morning Football between Sean McVay and Odell, that somewhere in there, McVay talked about how it's not so much about getting the amount of targets, but it's about like what opportunities you get. And so he talked about how we're gonna run our four wide wide receiver spread. He'll get looks. He'll get targets. And so he was, Sean McVay, obviously a great recruiter for the Rams.
Yeah, I think for Odell, we will have to like make sure that he's getting the ball at least a decent amount because I could see like him being frustrated with not getting it with the type of player he is. But I'm sure that Sean McVay has things drawn out for him.
Yeah. Oh man, this season is far from over. It's been a roller coaster of emotions. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Van Jefferson expanded role does look like this year. Do you think that we see Van take a jet sweep on Monday Night Football?
It's a good question. I'm still saying no because
No?
I don't know. I think with the type of player he is, like he has the downfield speed for when he's running those routes and everything. But to me, he doesn't seem as much of a playmaker with the ball in his hands like Woods or Cup is. And like I haven't really seen too many cases, and he hasn't gotten the ball a ton either. But I haven't seen too many cases where he gets the ball and runs for another 10 yards or makes a man miss and goes. And so I think Cooper Cup or Odell is more suited for that because of their play
Hmm.
style and the way that they run things. I just have never imagined Van Jefferson being that type of player, but it'll be interesting to see. Maybe he gets one, but I'd probably say Cup or Odell would get one more.
Yeah. Okay. I could definitely see you said that well. I could see Odell maybe getting it over Van, but or again, maybe we don't see a jet sweep at all on Monday
Yeah,
night.
we haven't really run them a ton this year either.
No,
I've
not
seen a lot more fakes than we have with the.
yeah, no, exactly. Oh, this still sucks though.
I know.
I don't
I'm
know.
so sad.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you more sad about this than the Kenny Young trade before we knew Von Miller was coming? Because I know Kenny Young was your player that you liked.
Yeah. Kenny Young was one of my favorite players on the Rams just because I saw him develop into a starter, and that's something I love about football, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I do think I'm definitely way more sad about this because it's an injury out for the year. Kenny Young, he actually looks like he's doing pretty good with the Broncos for his first two games, and so I wish him nothing but the best there. Um, but I'm excited for Von Miller. Obviously, we haven't even talked like Von Miller's probably. I believe he is starting on Monday.
Yeah, they haven't said that he is, but from what McVay's been saying, kind of like that Tony's been talking about Von Miller, I'm thinking he's going to play. Another
Mhm.
good point that Ram Showcase made to me too, because I don't know if you saw that video where Von Miller was in like the modern throwbacks and he was like on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then he said that generally you don't wear the uniform like this is the last time I'll wear those in the year and in these uniforms. So they're probably making a hype video with him in that for the game. And so he was looking at it in that way because he was like having like experience in that type of field. You wouldn't do that in that uniform. So like I think everything's pointing to it, and I think that McVay said last week Vaughn was really, really wanting to play too, and he wasn't able to play. So I'm expecting it. But
yeah, and again, it comes down to this is the Rams versus the 49ers, and we haven't beat them in 2 years now, our past 4 meetings. And now we have Robert Woods lost just before that game. So, Rams team is facing some adversity before a big Monday night primetime game.
oh yeah, and I'm still like I have a little bit of the excitement taken away for the Monday night game, but I'm still excited to see how that all goes down. Hopefully, there's no more injuries in that game that we come away with. But I'm curious to see with Von Miller in there what side he'll line up on, because I know that he would predominantly line up on the side that Floyd would when he was in Denver. I think that was just mainly the place he would be. But with the type of caliber player, he could be on the other side because he's a veteran and he knows. But I'm going to be interested to see where they put him because Floyd's occupying that spot, and I feel like that's kind of where Floyd will do his best. I don't really know how well he'll do if they move him to the other side. He could do the same, but it's interesting to see because the 49ers lost their right tackle. I think it was Mike McGlinchey.
Yeah.
And so if we put Von Miller on him, I think that's a good matchup, but I really don't know where we're going to put him.
Yeah, no, well said. And yeah, that'll be something that we're looking out for, early on in that game of, who's playing on what side. And yeah, I think, since the Von Miller trade happened, Rams fans have been excited about that. And yeah, so it's interesting, to think you have a star player of both Von Miller and then like a big name like Odell Beckham that potentially are starting for the first time in week 10 of the NFL season.
I still even when the Odell trade happened before Woods got injured, I was still, or it wasn't a trade, it was a signing, but I was still more excited for Von Miller because I feel like, I don't know, I've been more excited about that one than the Odell one because I don't know if it's because we have a lot of good receivers, but I think it might just be the fact that like Aaron Donald will have a lot more help now, and I feel like our pass rush will be really good. But it's interesting because when the Odell trade happened, I was so excited and I was happy, but Von Miller's been the one I've really been looking forward to the most.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, Rams House, this has been awesome. It's like talking with you. It hasn't been awesome of what we're talking about. We're definitely we're praying for Robert Woods for a good recovery and that he would heal well. And I hope he's back week 1 next season. I have no doubt he'll be a leader even through recovery, with the Rams. And do you have any final thoughts before we end off the stream?
I don't think so. Other than like you said, hopefully everybody can pray for Robert Woods and hopefully he has a good recovery and we have a good rest of the season.
For sure. And everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. Horns up. Go Rams. I'm Payo. This is Rams House. And please like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. But this sucks. And going to be an interesting game on Monday night. And it just got a little bit more interesting with this injury for sure. Have a good night, everyone.